In the last few weeks I've managed to complete 11 beginners guides for Ultimate Alliance free, and I actually have another 3 that are all finished and I just need to upload now. It takes around about 4 or 5 hours to do each of those guides, so I was actually looking for a different video to do just for a bit of variety, and also something that would be a bit easier because there's a fair amount of editing that goes into the beginners guides. Now today thankfully I got a message from a subscriber, C Steaks, on YouTube, so I'll bring it up and just read it out, and it's an awesome suggestion he came up with. So probably a stretch since a new DLC drops next week. It's never a stretch for me with content wise, but he said, I'd love to see a speculation video on Colossus and Cyclops moveset. I've been playing the first X Mansion stage and trying to see all the abilities and combos, and if not them, then maybe for the next set of free DLC characters. But I jumped at the actual idea of doing a different video from a beginner's guide for a change, and it's an awesome suggestion, and it's one I've no idea why I didn't actually think about covering it before, because the footage that I've actually recorded and I'll be showing off today, it looks like we see a not bad amount of the actual skills they could have. From the looks of it, I'm pretty certain we see their light and heavy attack, and we potentially see 2 of their abilities as well, which will give us a good idea how they'll actually play. So what I'll do is I'll jump into gameplay for each of them. We'll start off with Colossus. I don't have a massive amount of gameplay, so I'll slow it down just so you can see the actual skills, and I'll give my thoughts on them while we're checking them out as well. So let's start off with Colossus. First ability here, I'm pretty sure we can see this with certainty. This would be his light attack. You can see he does these 2 punches, and then he does the final heavier punch, and that'll be your combo finisher. So that's a light attack, standard enough in what you would expect from a brawler style character. This next ability I'm fairly certain will be the heavy attack. It's a slower attack, heavies are generally like that. It doesn't look too impactful, so that's the reason I don't believe it will actually be an ability, so I'm settling on this one being the heavy attack. We then have what would be the first offensive ability. We've seen that's on the basis of course that these don't actually change before the characters go live, but if they stay the same then this is a charge style move. You've seen it on a lot of characters, and it makes sense for Colossus to just charge into enemies. Generally this style move will be one that will pull down the stagger bar as well. Now the final ability we have to check out for him looks like one that could be set up from the defensive side of things. This ability here then looks to be a self buff. You can see a bit of a glow around him when he actually casts it. Now similar to Wolverine's self buff, it looks like it would actually do damage as well when he casts it, so that'll be interesting. I'm curious if it will, for example, maybe increase his health for a short period of time or something along the lines of that after he casts, or maybe even increase his damage resistance. That would be pretty nice. But that's everything I was able to find for Colossus, so next up let's have a look at Cyclops. So we start off here with Cyclops with what will be the basic. You can see he's got the punch, the kick, and then he follows it up with a blast from his visor. So it looks like if you do run out of energy, you're potentially going to have to get in close and use your basic to actually get your energy back. This skill here then, I'm fairly certain from the looks of it that this could be a heavy attack. It doesn't look flashy enough to be one of his actual abilities. It's a bit of a slower animation, and again, as I mentioned with Colossus, your heavy attacks are generally on the slower side. It looks like it gives you a little bit of range, which will be nice because I wasn't too keen on the idea of having to get really close and use a light attack for your punches and your kicks if you run out of energy. So this will hopefully allow us to maintain some range. So we have here what I believe to be the only ability that's potentially shown for Cyclops, whereas with Colossus we had 2, the charge and also the defensive skill. With Cyclops I can only see this beam. Now it looks like we potentially have maybe 2 different variations of it, or it works differently depending on the enemy you're attacking. You'll see an occasion he fires it horizontally, but sometimes he'll actually fire it vertically as well, but I believe that's just due to the fact that he's fighting the sentinels and the way in the targeting in the game will work. I'm pretty certain it is just the same skill there. So that I believe should give us a pretty good idea how they'll play when they go live. Now of course they could change, but to me it would seem pretty strange that the developers actually put fully animated abilities into the game with all the visual effects and they don't actually use them, and the abilities, they fit the actual playstyle of the characters perfectly there. So hopefully it's given us a good idea how they'll play anyway. So as always, I hope the video has been helpful. Thanks once again to C Steegs for giving me the awesome suggestion and allowing me to have a night off from doing a beginner's guide, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.